At 40, life handed me a peculiar inheritance, a cabin nestled in the woods, a relic from my childhood vacations. The memories of its creaking timbers and the eerie solitude it sat in came flooding back. To anyone, especially a 7-year-old, it was the epitome of a spooky retreat, surrounded by nothing but the dense forest and a few distant cabins belonging to family friends. Post-divorce, the cabin seemed like the perfect escape, a place to gather my scattered thoughts amidst nature's untouched beauty. Armed with a week's supply of food, a generous stash of brandy, my skis, and Sam, my loyal German shepherd, I set out for the wilderness. The neighboring houses, mere specks in the vast expanse, stood deserted, adding to the solitude. The initial days were a serene blend of solitude and simplicity, gliding through the snow with only Sam by my side, unwinding with a glass of brandy, and reliving the 80s through a stack of VHS tapes. The cabin, with its cozy living space, kitchen, and utility room on the ground floor, and the more private quarters upstairs, felt like a haven from the chaos of life. However, the tranquility was short-lived. One morning, a trail of footprints leading from the cabin into the forest caught my eye. Assuming they were signs of the neighbor's return or a forester's rounds, I thought little of it. But the serenity of the night soon gave way to a palpable tension. The stillness of the night was abruptly shattered, not by the howling wind or the creaking trees, but by Sam's sudden restlessness. From a serene sleep beside me, she transitioned into a state of high alert, her ears perked up, directing her unwavering gaze towards the door that led downstairs. The atmosphere thickened with an inexplicable tension, sending a shiver down my spine, rendering me motionless, seated rigidly on the bed, consumed by a growing sense of unease. Sam's behavior escalated quickly. She leaped off the bed and charged down the stairs, her paws thudding against the wooden steps. Downstairs, she paced back and forth, her movements erratic, as if she was searching for an unseen intruder lurking in the shadows of the living room and kitchen. The silence of the night was punctuated only by her occasional low growls and the soft patter of her feet on the cold floor. Minutes later, she reappeared at the bedroom doorway, leash clenched firmly between her teeth, her stance insistent. Yet, despite her clear signal that it was time to venture outside, I found myself paralyzed, a prisoner of the foreboding atmosphere that had enveloped the cabin. Sam's urgent demeanor contrasted starkly with my own immobilization, rooted in a deep-seated fear of the unknown that lurked beyond the safety of those walls. Outside, the world was a different place. The dense forest loomed ominously, and Sam, usually obedient, became unmanageable, tugging towards the very heart of the woods where the morning tracks had led. The struggle to return to the safety of the cabin was real, and as we retreated, the unsettling quiet of the night enveloped us once more. Back in bed, the silence was shattered by the sound of what seemed like snowballs hitting the cabin walls. The frequency of the thuds, rhythmic yet unpredictable, sent waves of fear through me. Sam, ever vigilant, stood by the window, her stance one of alert curiosity, while I was frozen, a prisoner of my own dread. Gathering every ounce of courage, I edged closer to the window, my heart pounding against my ribcage. The eerie quiet of the night outside was a stark contrast to the storm of fear raging within me. Sam, with her unwavering vigilance, stood sentinel by the glass, her body tense and ready. The minutes dragged on, each second a lifetime of suspense, as I strained my eyes to pierce through the impenetrable darkness that enveloped the cabin. The moon, a mere sliver in the sky, cast a feeble light over the snow-blanketed landscape, creating shadows that twisted and morphed into sinister shapes. Just as I was about to retreat, convinced my mind was playing tricks on me, it happened. A face, so ghastly and pale it seemed to be carved from the very mist, emerged slowly from behind a massive pine. Its features were elongated, almost grotesque, with hollow eyes that bore into mine, devoid of any human warmth. The mouth was a thin, dark slit, and it seemed to stretch into a semblance of a smile, or was it a snarl? I recoiled in horror, the image seared into my mind. My back hit the wall behind me as I stumbled away from the window, my breath coming in short, sharp gasps. The sight was beyond comprehension, a visage so disturbingly inhuman that my mind reeled in an attempt to deny its reality. The figure lingered for a moment longer, its gaze locked with mine in a silent confrontation, before it melted back into the shadows from whence it came. Rooted to the spot, I was consumed by a mix of terror and fascination. The questions multiplied in my mind. Was this apparition a figment of my overwrought imagination, or had the secluded wilderness harbored this ghastly entity all along, waiting for an unwitting witness? The ordeal had left me shaken to the core, questioning the very nature of reality as I knew it. The night escalated as the sound of the doorknob turning echoed through the silent cabin. The realization that someone, or something, was attempting to infiltrate my sanctuary was paralyzing. The whispers of the mechanism, a haunting melody of intrusion, persisted, a relentless reminder of my vulnerability. When morning's light finally broke the night's spell, I was a man transformed. The decision was immediate: leave and never look back. As I drove away, every glance in the rearview mirror was a mix of fear and relief. The echoes of the night's terror, the sight of that haunting face, and the whispers of the unseen assailant convinced me that some inheritances come with burdens too heavy to bear. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to comment and subscribe so you don't miss the new video.